Hi, and welcome to Carolina Varsity's 2013 look at the NCHSAA playoffs. I'm Dale Ross.
And I'm the pet man, Matt Morrow.
And Matt, this next game in the 4AA playoffs, first round, is number 13 Olympic at 7-4, going over to Matthews to play number 4 Butler at 8-3. These two teams last met last year in a regular season, and it ended 69-7. You know, when you look at games and you look at matchups, I think with the issues that Olympic has with injuries and youth, this is a real big match. This is a real tough matchup, I should say. If they were healthy and, you know, like they were maybe 6 weeks ago, they might have had a real good opportunity, you know, kind of like how they played Independence. But now, it's kind of a tough, I think it's a tough draw for Olympic. Play the defending champions who seem to be kind of starting to get back into stride to defend that, you know, now they actually can defend that championship because they're in the playoffs now. So I think, you know, Butler's going to be is geared, and, you know, I'm not going to say they're looking forward to anything, but I'm sure they're thinking they're going to be the team that knocks off Mallard Creek and moves on. So, you know, that's got to be going through their head right now. So anything that gets in their way is just going to get plowed over. So.
Yeah, you know, big win over Independence last week. You know, they've got momentum, and as a result of that win, they were seeded as a number 1 here, with a number 4 overall seed here in the bracket. For Olympic, you know, I really think they got to be able to throw the ball, man. You know, I've said that a couple weeks about these guys, and you know, they moved Lou Allen to offense, so they got Lou Allen and Means on the outside. So they have the threat there, but they've got to be able to throw the ball early in this one to free up the run game, which is what they want to do. You know, Garcia's back and he's playing, you know, when I saw Butler against Porter Ridge, their defense was getting closer to that old Butler type defense that I saw. Now they gave up a lot to Independence, but you know, Independence is supremely talented, you know, on the offensive side of the ball. Olympic doesn't have that type of talent, you know, on their team, unfortunately. And you know, it's going to be tougher for them to get things going. And I think they just can't come out and pound right at these guys, because Butler has an advantage on the defensive line with the young Olympic offensive line, especially when they're going through some injuries and such. So they've got to be diversified in whatever they do to keep Butler off balance. For Butler, you know, their new spread offense, well, I say new, but they put it in several weeks ago. Their spread offense is really giving Ratliff a lot of freedom to take off and do things as a dual threat guy. And, you know, lately apparently they've been using both LeMay and Pinckney in the backfield, the young freshmen, and along with Ratliff. And I tell you, that's a heck of a 3-headed monster right there.
It is.
And running and passing. So I think Butler, you know, stick with that, spread the field, and pick Olympic apart. Mix in your run game, but make them defend the whole field, and you have to, because the Butler receivers are playing a lot better. Their offensive line is getting better. So, I tell you, you know, I said I don't want to predict games, but Butler, I think, is playing at a high level right now. And even though they gave up the 42 to Independence, that's a rival game. You know, anything can happen in those games. And, you know, like I said, Independence was highly motivated and they're ready to go. I think Olympic, they have ability to do things, but I don't think they have enough here at this point. Like you said, if they're at full strength, I think it could be a closer game. But the way Butler's playing right now, especially on the offensive side of the ball, you know, it's a tall order for Olympic. It's a tall order for them to pull the upset here. But they've got to be able to just hang in there and keep it close, because the games, like you said, in this rivalry have not been close at all.
Not in the last 2 seasons.
Right.
Now they really haven't played. They played a lot when Butler first was in existence, and of course, part of that was they played each other, then they were in the same conference. So
Right.
last time Olympic beat Butler was 2004,
Okay.
and they had not played again until 2 seasons ago. So the last 2 seasons, Butler's had very similar results in dominating wins, and the scores being not even close. Reflecting what we mentioned earlier.
Right.
For this game to not be that way is going to require, in my opinion, some good scheming by the coaches. I think Olympic on the defensive side is a little better than they were last year, even though they're down with injuries.
Okay.
Right now, I think they are a little better than they were last year. So it's going to take a gargantuan effort out of the defense to hold down the Butler offense, and even if they're able to hold them down into, let's say, the 28-point range, Olympic's going to have to find a way to score.
Yeah.
And the strength of that team had been, for the most part, the defense, and still that defense is probably one of the actually I'd say it's probably will be the best defense that Olympic will have seen this year. Maybe West Mac, I don't know, but still it's going to be a very good defense. So.
Right.
I think it's going to require a lot of scheming by the coaches and for the players to execute what the coaches put into place for them to have a shot. Somebody made a comment, Wiseman made a comment about how can the Olympic defense handle speed? Can they handle it?
Right.
And I replied back, the better question is, can they handle speed, size, and athletic ability? Because Butler's got all that. They got the speed, they got the size, and they got athletes. So it's not just fast people that Olympic has to worry about. It's fast, big, athletic people. So 7:30 Friday night in Matthews. You guys enjoy the game, and hopefully everybody can make it a good ball game. Thanks.
We're gonna walk inside and guess what's up? Put the food on my plate. That's a coke in my